5 things mentally tough people never do. Backed by Stoic wisdom. Stoic bloom. What if mental toughness wasn't about gritting your teeth through chaos, but about refusing the mental habits that weaken you from the inside? Imagine being unshakable not because life gets easier, but because you've trained yourself to never react like the average person does. And what if the secret lies not in what mentally tough people do, but in what they refuse to do every single day, guided by the timeless wisdom of the Stoics? Let's break down the 5 things mentally tough individuals never allow, and how you can master the same mindset starting now. Part 1. Mentally tough people never make excuses. Here's the first truth. Mentally tough people don't make excuses. Not because their lives are easier, not because they never mess up, but because they've accepted something most people avoid: radical responsibility. In the Stoic world, Marcus Aurelius reminds us it's not our circumstances that disturb us, but our perception of them. Excuses shift the blame. They hand over your power. They whisper, it's not your fault. There's nothing you could do. But mentally strong people know better. They understand that every obstacle, every missed opportunity, every failure is a test of character. And instead of dodging accountability, they lean into it. They ask, what part of this do I control? What lesson is buried here? It's not easy, it's not always fair, but it's freeing. Because when you stop making excuses, you start making progress. Picture this: a plan fails. The average person points fingers at the weather, the boss, the timing. But the Stoic-minded individual asks, where did I falter? What can I do better next time? Excuses offer comfort, but they cost you growth. Mentally tough people trade comfort for clarity. They know that owning your failures doesn't make you weaker, it makes you wiser. And if that lands, maybe you're tougher than you think. Tap into that inner Stoic, subscribe to Stoic Bloom, and pass this on to a friend who blames Mercury in retrograde for missing deadlines. Or drop a comment saying, no excuses, just action. Let's hold each other to that. Stoic Bloom. Power begins where excuses end. Part 2. Mentally tough people never dwell on the past. Everyone has a past, a failed relationship, a missed opportunity, a mistake that still echoes in their mind. But here's the difference. Mentally tough people don't live there. They don't replay regrets like broken records. They don't let yesterday steal the clarity of today. The Stoics were fierce defenders of the present moment. Epictetus said it best: it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And reacting doesn't always mean action. Sometimes it means letting go, because no amount of guilt can change the past, and no amount of worry can bring it back. Mentally tough people understand this. They treat the past like a lesson, not a life sentence. They study it, reflect on it, but they don't build homes there. Think of the past like a fire you've already walked through. Yes, it left marks. Yes, it taught you something. But you don't stand in the ashes forever. You move forward, stronger and more aware. Consider this: you made a mistake at work, in love, or in life. The mentally fragile person keeps revisiting it, reliving the sting. The mentally tough person, they ask, what can I learn from this? Then they take that lesson, tuck it under their arm, and keep walking. They know that dwelling isn't reflection, it's rumination. And rumination is a trap. The past has no new information. But the present is where you act, decide, rebuild. By choosing not to dwell, you choose to live. You choose motion over stagnation, evolution over repetition. And that's not weakness, that's wisdom in motion. Part 3. Mentally tough people never seek validation from others. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a compliment. We're human, but mentally tough people don't depend on it. Because the moment your self-worth relies on someone else's applause, you've already handed them control of your peace. The Stoics warned us about this trap over 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." That contradiction, it weakens your foundation. Validation feels good, but it's fleeting, addictive. One like isn't enough. One compliment fades. One person's approval today can vanish tomorrow. Mentally tough people get off that roller coaster. They anchor their identity not in others' opinions, but in values, principles, and purpose. Picture this. You complete a huge project. You're proud, but no one notices. Do you crumble? Do you question yourself? Not if you've built your confidence from the inside out. Because when you're mentally strong, you don't need a standing ovation. You don't need to broadcast every win. You know what you did, and that's enough. It's not arrogance, it's integrity. You become your own reference point, calm, clear, untouchable. This kind of self-trust is rare and priceless. If you've ever posted something and checked for likes like the philosopher counting coins, don't worry, we've all been there. But maybe it's time to flip that script. Subscribe to Stoic Bloom and keep building your inner scoreboard. Share this with a friend who needs less likes and more clarity, or drop a comment. My worth isn't up for votes, because it never was. Stoic Bloom, validation fades, character stays. Part 4, mentally tough people never fear change. It's the one thing in life that's guaranteed, yet somehow still scares us more than uncertainty itself. But mentally tough people, they don't resist change. They work with it because they understand that fearing change is like fearing the sun will rise. It's coming, whether you're ready or not. The Stoics embraced this reality wholeheartedly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change, and accustom yourself to consider that the nature of the universe delights in nothing so much as to change the things that are and to make new things like them." In other words, change isn't case, it's nature unfolding. Mentally tough people don't cling to comfort. They know comfort is temporary and usually deceptive. A job that feels secure today may vanish tomorrow. A relationship that feels stable may shift next week. So instead of gripping the steering wheel tighter, they loosen their emotional grip and adapt. Let's say life throws you a curveball. You lose a position you loved. A plan falls apart. A person you counted on disappears. The fragile response is to panic, resist, or collapse. The Stoic response? Breathe, accept, adjust. Mentally strong people reframe uncertainty as opportunity, not in a naive, positive thinking way, but in a grounded, pragmatic way. They ask, what can I learn here? What new paths are opening up that I didn't see before? How can I grow from this, not shrink? They trust their ability to adapt more than they trust circumstances to remain stable. That's true resilience, not avoiding disruption, but moving through it with presence and poise. And the truth is, when you stop fearing change, you stop being hostage to outcomes. You start living with a fluid strength, flexible, calm, and unshaken. Part 5, mentally tough people never compromise their values. When pressure builds and the stakes rise, many people bend. They cut corners, break promises, or stay silent when they know they should speak. But not mentally tough people, because no matter the case, they never betray their values. To the Stoics, your values are your inner citadel. They are the unshakable walls of your character. What protects your peace when the world outside is anything but peaceful? Seneca once wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." And what better way to prove yourself than by standing tall in a moment that invites you to stoop? Mentally tough people don't measure success by popularity or gain. They measure it by alignment with what they know is right. Imagine this. You're offered an opportunity. It's lucrative. It's fast. But it requires compromising your honesty, your integrity, your principles. The weak mind rationalizes. Just this once. No one will know. The strong mind remembers. Peace of mind is worth more than any prize. Even when it's inconvenient, even when it hurts, even when others are taking the easy road. Mentally tough people hold the line because they know that once you start sacrificing your values for results, you lose more than success. You lose yourself. So how do they stay strong? They reflect, they journal, they surround themselves with reminders, not of who they want to impress, but of who they want to become. They build habits that reinforce their principles, not test them. And if this part of you nodded along like a moral compass, quietly saying, "Yep," then join us. Subscribe to Stoic Bloom and stay close to those who choose discipline over shortcuts. Share this with a friend who could use a little backbone boost. Or comment below, "I'd rather be respected than rewarded." Because in the end, that's what lasts. Part 6, Final Reflection. Mental toughness is not about force. It's about fortitude. The silent strength to act with clarity when emotions try to cloud you, to hold your values when the world invites you to drop them, to stay present when the past and future try to steal your attention. The 5 things we've covered: making excuses, dwelling on the past, seeking validation, fearing change, compromising values, are not just habits to avoid. They are tests, daily tests. And the more you resist them, the more you fortify your mind. The Stoics never promised that life would be smooth. They promised that you could become smooth within, calm in conflict, rooted in chaos, grounded in growth. If this message resonated with you, I invite you not merely to watch, but to walk alongside us. This channel, Stoic Bloom, exists as a sanctuary for those who no longer wish to be ruled by emotion, approval, or circumstance. Subscribe to join a tribe that values strength without noise. Share this video with someone battling their own inner storms. Like it if even one idea made you pause and breathe deeper. And comment below, which habit are you ready to break starting today? Let this not be another video you scroll past. Let it be a quiet declaration that your mind is yours again. Thank you for walking this path with us. Stoic Bloom, still minds move mountains.